Alright, so I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and you probably clicked on it and you're like, okay, what is that clickbaity type of title? What are you trying to do here? First of all, trust me, it's not a clickbait. Just give me a second and wait. Second of all, I want to ask you one very important question. If you had to add one feature, one game mode, one interesting thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel that will definitely make the game better in the long term, what would you do? What would you add? Let me know in the comments below before I reveal my choice. Now, before I reveal my pick, I want to go through a quick story. So you most likely know me as Dante, the guy that makes YouTube videos about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel for over a year now, and that's completely true, but there is actually more to the story. You see, Master Duel isn't the only or the first card game that I've actually played. I've played pretty much every card game that you can play online, from Hearthstone to Magic to Pokemon to Legends of Frontera and more. And what I've came to realize is that there is one key feature in the majority of games, if not all of them, that definitely makes the game a lot more interesting, not necessarily in a more competitive way, but definitely in a more casual type of funny way to play the game. That one feature has allowed a lot of card games to become more interesting, more diversified, and just bring more fun to the table, and definitely made things better for the game in the long run, at least in my opinion. And the reason I'm talking about other card games is because when you look at it from a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player's perspective, you are mostly interested in some tournaments, in some big leagues like World Cup or Duelist Cup or something that will make you test your skills to the top level, and it has always been about that. But here's where the casual card game enjoyer's mentality comes into place. You see, it's not only about competitiveness, it's also about having fun, and having fun means playing in different ways and having more diversification. And that finally brings me to the ultimate feature that I believe will get Yu-Gi-Oh! To the next level, and that is draft mode. Every card game calls it differently, but the bottom line is you pick a card from a large pool and you play with a semi-decent deck to have fun with against other opponents who did the same thing. And if you really think about it, implementing that feature to Yu-Gi-Oh! It's gonna be really beneficial and really cool. A lot of people will have fun, and it's really good because number one, you have a large card pool so you can pick from whatever cards you want. Number two, you can actually separate them really easily, which is required because the card pool is just insanely big, so you need to somehow separate them. So you just add a particular format, for example gold format, and there you have it. You just add all the gold cards to the gold format and you draft between a couple of choices. It doesn't matter how you really design it as long as it's a good draft mode, and there is definitely the chance for Master Duel to do that as well because it's an online card game and they can easily do that, having access to every single card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. Not to mention, it can be a lot easier for new players and returning players to learn the game, because if you include something like a gold format style gameplay, it will be a lot more simple and a lot more easy to learn compared to something like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it gets ridiculous and people can't just get the hang of it, because the moment you queue up to play rank, you either play against a bot, you play against a deck that doesn't do anything, or you play against a top tier meta deck that will just destroy you without you even realizing what's going on. You have access to everything you want, you have the tools necessary to build the best decks, but you don't know what's happening because you're new to the game, right? So it gets really difficult to actually learn the game, which will get a lot easier when you include an older format, simply because there are a lot less cards and a lot less mechanic in the game mode. For veteran players, it can also be really fun as well because they can go back in time and have some fun in a nostalgic type of way. And I might be going a little crazy here, but hear me out. I also have an additional idea. Let's make it a rank mode. Maybe you can have a separate rank playing on separate mode, and you can have a combined division between the two or something like this, where you don't earn extra rewards, but you can, for example, choose to play on gold format and hit master on gold format instead of playing on the regular one, and it wouldn't matter because there could be the same ranked system for both of them. And this can be implemented for every format, and it can, for example, rotate every now and then. It can change from Edison to gold to whatever you want and just have new things to the game added. You see where I'm going with this? The potential is crazy, dude. If they add a permanent feature, it will be a lot better because they add a bunch of events. For example, they added the gold format event for a couple of days, and I played so much gold format, it's unreal. I loved it so much, bro. Like, I enjoyed it so much, but they had to remove it. And I'm telling you, if it was a permanent feature, I probably would have played it more than ranked. And by that time, you probably noticed that I haven't covered something really big that I actually should cover because it's in the topic of the video, and that is the draft mode that Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro has for a while now, and people have had so much fun playing with this. And for those of you who haven't seen it, let's explain it real quick. You have different formats that you can play in, for example, Duelist Kingdom, Battle City, Gold Format, Edison, etc, etc. And this is a Hearthstone type of draft mode where the majority of times you get commons and rares, and sometimes a beautiful UR or SR can pop up. And as you can see, I'm gonna pick a UR, then you get some commons, then you get some rares, and for the majority of it, it's gonna be that. But also SRs will pop up every now and then, and you build cards until you hit 40 cards, and this is your typical draft mode. Now the problem is, it's actually not implemented in Master Duel itself, and it's so easy to implement it in Master Duel, it's ridiculous. Like, dude, you already have the card pool, you can already make a system like that because you've seen it how it works. You can change it up if you want to change it in a different way. Maybe one person picks, then the other one picks, like Magic, and it's not the similar style as Hearthstone, and you make it different. You can do whatever you want, and you get where I'm going with this. It will add a permanent feature future to the game, it will also include a new mode for people to have fun with. You can add some extra rewards, you can make a ranked system based on the format, and maybe not have a draft mode format, but rather just the format itself where people build decks and play on the ladder as well. I don't know, man, maybe it's just me and my dreams, but I think that one day this will probably happen because it has already happened to some extent. It just needs to be polished and added to the game itself where you can match make with people, because I cannot actually play this mode for the majority of times because I don't have any friends that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, unfortunately, so I cannot play this mode. But anyways, that was it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the draft mode. Let me know what you think about any format basically added to Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe as a ranked system or whatever, or any other feature you're interested in adding in Master Duel that will definitely make the game more interesting and unique. As always, have a great day, have a good time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I will see you in the next video.